So why do you know what reishi mushrooms smell like, Tur?
Reishi
Is this a common
mushrooms.
food item?
I've smelled reishi mushroom supplements before, I think.
This is a supplement?
It's used as a supplement.
Yes, but what kind of supplement?
I don't recall.
Because
I just
it's
recall
called
smelling
love
it.
and murder. Is it a love kind of supplement or is it a murder kind of supplement?
Yes. Alright. Well, what are you in the mood for, huh? Love or murder?
I don't see why I can't do both with one stab.
I forgot what my goals
pages,
are.
Aren't you? Our goals is to bang the bat.
Right. How could I?
You can actually do that, but I don't know how likely to do that on the first run.
I see.
Not that we necessarily want to stream a second run, but I'm just saying it is possible.
Okay. Oh, I need to pay my rent.
Or
and I need
here's an
more
idea.
senses. Okay.
You could not pay your rent and spend your money on shopping.
Ah, true. That's the American way. Buying shit I don't need with money I don't have. To impress bets.
Something went wrong halfway through, but I'll roll with it.
I'll earn more money and get more census papers so that we can bring them to pages. And he'll bang us for sure.
I'm sorry, and did you just imply that Pages is a whore?
I mean...
For paper?
For paper.
For paper.
I like my reishi mushroom top hat. Alright.
Noir, it's good to see you. Now that I remember what kind of voice anyone was having before, you look superb. I wish the rest of London had tasted as reishi as yours.
Well, you can reset that voices every playthrough. Randomly generated.
Yeah, forget it. I can't actually do accents anyways.
Baby in a spider web. I like the idea of that.
I recount the newspaper story. Spider scared off an entire baby. It was found in a basement, wrapped in silk. Oh, lucky baby. Oh.
I do like some silk.
There were also the remains of a medium-sized hunting dog, though who can say why such a dog was in London to begin with? Yeah, dogs in London? It's all about spiders these days. I make the stories as engaging as I can. Plenty of detail and a fair sprinkling of dramatic pauses. Some of the beasties you hear tell of must have precious rare pelts or scales or what have you. I'd like to see them for myself.
Yeah. Go do it.
It might be frightening, but there is a chance for us here. Spider pelt. Creatures that have lived below for a long time. They'll know more on how to manage.
Get inspiration from spiders.
Yeah. For clothes ready made up, or just ready made, you won't do better than you find here. Hats, pins, masks, cloaks, sundries, unspeakables. And if you're in the market for something better, why? I do find it works by appointment.
Tailored unspeakables.
Yes. You'll have to strip and I'll measure every part. Mr. Vales will come and help with the clothing stuff.
I have questions.
I wanted to ask you a few things. They're not very difficult questions, just highly invasive. I see.
Always. Flirt when you can.
I'm curious, what is your full name? Ivy Fitzclark. It's what passed for a joke with my mom.
It's very royal. Haha.
I'm sure the Fitzclarences will be flattered by the association. Yeah, this is definitely flying over my head. Probably not pronouncing it right. The bastard descendants of the Duke of Clarence are still to be found around London, long after their sire went to his grave.
Ah, many bastards.
My mom did always say someone forgot to make me Countess of Munster, but she was sure it was an oversight. I'ma reckon when I got old enough I could pick a lie that'd suit me.
Ah, a convenient name.
So as long as you live with me, you'll be known for a tart's daughter. No point hiding it.
Oh! Well, you can flirt with someone's mom?
Not that kind of mom, I don't think, and not that kind of interest. Is your mom still about somewhere? Oh, she fell with the rest of us. Get it? Fell. She says she had a better time of it than most, being that she was already a fallen woman.
Yeah, sure. What about the future, huh?
Are you going to change your name someday? Oh yes, but not until I have enough saved up to move my shop to Ladybones.
Ah,
Hey, Ladybones Lane.
fancy.
Mademoiselle Lear de Bordeaux. I'm planning to call myself, whatever that means.
Ooh.
Wine. All the fashions of Paris, but darker and more marvelous.
More mushrooms.
So many mushrooms.
Ah, proper pronunciation.
Oh, I can sound elegant, but I didn't learn my manners at a finishing school, whatever a finishing school is. I worked in the back room of the dressmaker's shop until I was good enough to put in front.
Front office.
Found my way into genteel parlors and didn't let myself be kicked out of them again. Not 1 in 20 of the ladies I dress could do what I've done.
Is this heated up? Should I heat things up further? Sure, why not?
She just said that she's better than 1 in 20 ladies.
And what?
Is there anyone living with you at the moment? Yes, the whole measuring body parts thing. I live back at my mom's place when I'm not working in. She's good company unless she's got guests of her own. In which case I stay out late. Don't want to see or hear nothing in there.
And can heat things up even further?
About me, Mom? Alright. Is anyone special in your life, Ivy? There's been a few warm encounters, so I'm not a blessed virgin, am I? But I don't want child or men spawning off me.
Ah.
One thing about being raised by an old slooper war. She taught me how to keep unencumbered.
Oh, some shopping. What else?
You already had your hat.
Yeah, I got my stuff.
I
Respectable.
wonder if all the rest of these are about the same, apart from the university cloak.
Yeah, I do wonder.
There's a female one, there's a male one, and there's a mysterious and indistinct one.
I could try the university. Ah! After the flirting.
But I have the academic gown for a penny by any chance. Price on that is 2 full pennies.
The expectations of society. You gotta
You
give me
care one
discounts.
whit for the expectations of society.
Oh, exposure.
Oh, I'd be sure to mention your fine goods and services to all my acquaintance. We can make you the talk of London, I dare say, put you in fashion, if you're not already in fashion. The Masters outlawed charity, you know. Did they?
Huh.
If I want the academic gown, it seems I'll have to go some other way.
Oh.
Don't ask me why, but I've taken to you.
Must be my bargaining
Must be on
skills.
Might go off you again once I know more about you, but for now you seem right enough. If you wanted to come back and visit around the market, I wouldn't kick you away. Now and then, mind, I might ask you to pretend you're buying something. We certainly just did. And maybe you could comment loud on how good the workmanship is.
It's a partnership.
That'd do.
Insultingly clear, I'm not interested. Even in friendship. Everything is going to Keikaku.
Oh, she's got a... she's got a Jasperware portrait necklace, hasn't she? Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. What an excellent idea. I'm very glad you asked. That suits. Clothing pun. I have something for you. Oh, maybe you're gonna get the cloak anyways.
Oh.
Some of us want to make ourselves at home in a place we weren't born to. Oh? Oh, is it a fancy... If anyone asks, when you're rubbing elbows in good company, you tell them you got it from me. I'm trusting you to spread the word. But if they ask, I charge you a good high price and you are glad to pay it. Or they'll say, old Ivy's gone soft in the head.
Oh, lovely.
Handsome, inspires some lofty attitude and an inclination to protect the weak.
Not very high society.
Noblesse oblige, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think the rich actually follow that. Oh, so many choices.
Yes, but many of them basically, you know, are the same. For our purposes.
Yeah, kissy. Oh.
Yep.
But further, your
that about sums me up.
You are right. Alright. Lovely. Should I collect more senses, I wonder?
If you want to sell pages to pages, yeah.
Yeah, I do have that goal of 7 census forms to pages. Maybe Senpai will notice me if I give him his forms.
I wonder if it's actually necessary to deliver that as a prerequisite.
I don't know. But he was pretty pissed the last time we went and didn't have any forms, so he does seem to be a whore for pages. Alright, then you shall have this.
I find Horatio in the basement taking inventory of our supplies. I'm indebted to Horatio. And I may remain so. Since the fall, I haven't always had the funds to pay for my room and board. She provided for me anyway. If there's anything to eat, I'm always welcome to join the other lodgers. She's never said a word in front of the other guests. She's nice. Somebody owes me 10 pennies. I think just my presence has reminded her of her lodgers, and that reminds her of Archie. She hasn't gotten to inhabiting that grief comfortably yet. Good afternoon, Noir. I trust you're not having too much trouble with nightmares?
Yeah. That totally makes me want to flirt with you.
I never stopped you before. There is some connection between us, a natural understanding, I think. An understanding that I owe you 10 pennies and I'll never pay. Not common for someone to look at me that way. Although, under the circumstances, understandable, it feels wrong not having Archie at his seat. Let's bring up Archie instead. Best we eat and not dwell on it. We need our strength if we're to do anything. It started snowing outside. Oh no. Has it? Oh god. There's word it started with some disturbance over at the bazaar. Lacquer. Do you see anything, Noir?
Well.
Something might have happened, but I didn't go to the ministry today. Wasn't horny enough. So I wasn't in the neighborhood. Everyone silent for a moment. The situation is too puzzling to explain.
I don't think she likes the ministry very much.
Does anybody, apart from Grizz? I wanted to ask you a few things. They're not very difficult questions. I promise. I'm just gonna flirt a little, even though we've lived together for so long, and I don't know your full name. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, you must have many suitors when you were younger.
Is that a veiled insult? Did you have many suitors when you were younger?
I'm still young, mind.
Younger, I said. Butcher at the corner asked me a few times to be his wife. I couldn't say I was tempted. He had 7 children from his marriage before. I believe he was more attracted to the extra rooms in my house than to me. There's something I need for dinner if you'd be willing to go.
Oh, now you're asking me for help.
Yes, well, seeing as you aren't even paying your dad.
Well, sure.
Well, since you ask. No response. He rummages in the corner of a sandwich of empty jars, which he piles into a bag for me. Take them to the market and get them filled, as many as you can. Filled with sunlight? Oil first, then solids, whatever they've got.
They're not mirror catch boxes.
Sounds like truffle oil and mushrooms to me. Don't let them sell you more than 1 jar of cricket flour. We can use it, but we don't go through much. Mostly because we can't keep the stuff down. As for the purple mushrooms, make sure they're dead. Don't accept live ones.
Sounds like a challenge to kill them, then.
How will I know? You'll know. If it jumps out of the jar, it's not dead. The trip takes a long time. For some reason, we're getting food at the clothing stalls.
It's the place of everything, I guess.
There is another shop place, as I recall. Half the stalls are already empty. Half of the remaining stalls are not offering anything with weight. We came to the wrong place after all. Crap. But I finished Horatia's commission in the end. Oh?
No mistakes. Only happy accidents.
It occurred to me you might want the route to the church. Oh, we're begging for our food now, are we?
It's a sign. She's saying that I'm straying too far from God.
I mean, she's wearing a cross. You're always straying too far from God. Theophilus Witherwick would be good for the census, I'm sure. Follow Thrall Street to the place that looks like a dead end. Stand still and sing 2 verses of Pop Goes the Weasel. Then walk straight ahead and you'll find the street keeps going. It might be that another song would do as well, but for some reason that's the one I always use. St. Albans Proto-Martyr. St. Alban was the first English martyr, a point of considerable pride to the local vicar. It's the church of our parish. One day I'll learn what all these ecclesiastical terms mean.
Yeah.
It isn't long until dinner is served.
Oh, I just realized there's a little smoke coming up from the pot. Very cute.
Oh, yeah. And the fires is firing as well.
Alright, let's go.
Cook. Horatia arrives late to supper. What's on your boots, Horatia? It looks like milk and it smells like a sewer. Yes, that's lacquer, alright. Don't go into the basement. Why is lacquer in the basement?
Yeah, oh, right, the tentacle.
Oh. Ah. I know about the tentacle thing. I know about many tentacle things. It's not only that. The tentacle won't harm you, but there's a bit of a mess. The floor down there is flooded. I moved everything to higher shelves. Gosh.
A mystery.
How marvelously strange. I could do with fewer mysteries if they made less of a mess. Nom nom nom.
Nobody like that.
All pigeons around St. Paul's, they caught and plucked. More than one society lapdog was turned to stew. What kind of lapdog are we talking?
Figures it for.
Or long pig.
What happened? See, I didn't complete anything. Oh well.
Seems like it's a bit early for lacquer, isn't it? Yeah, we're still in the season of confessions.
Oh, 8 days remain. I guess they extended the season of confessions.
Oh wow, yeah. Another morning, another newspaper. The headlines today read: Masters will exchange warm winter clothing for disused street signs. Yes, I do remember something along those lines. Yeah. Oh, is that why those street signs are relevant? It's literally contraband, isn't it? As for the secrets Archie and I have made known, they do not have a headline. Not yet. There is only a small item in the back of the paper. If I am not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends and acquaintances whether there's anything they need from me. They may have some additional task for me.
Side quests.
Indeed. Side conquests, even.
What's here? Oh, you can visit Archie.
Oh yes, you can. Although, you might usually have to go with Harjeet if you don't have a disguise.
Oh, right.
Or you can go and get robbed. That could be cool too. Also, I think mornings are like the only... Is it like the only time you can visit Mr. Pages without Grizz being there?
Oh.
Or
here?
Or maybe like normal daytime is just when Grizz is there or something. So, I don't know.
Alright, I'll just get more pages for pages. And then bring them all in at once.
Cashing in.
Yeah, we'll get the census.
Oh.
I suspect this might not work well.
You might want to wear the academic clothing, which is it was aligned with the church or something, right? Or something. Oh, you never got it.
I never got it.
Never mind.
Oh, it might be aligned with the devils. So maybe this would be good.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think of it. Saint Alban's proto-martyr. Albans? This is the closest church to Horatius. He looks me over and he does not see a parishioner. You fucked up. I see the masters are meddling with affairs of the church. I suppose it was inevitable that they would turn their attention this way in time.
But what is your sense of humor?
My name is Noir. Ho ho! Theophilus Withenwick. It is a Yorkshire name. I am human. Once I walked under the open sky. If you can't say the same, then at least break the horrible truth to me gently, will you?
Still, the flower options are still there somehow. Alright, sure.
I think that's just the
the pin.
symbol for like whatever you have as your pin thing. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on the census. Yes, well, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. I know, right? That's Caesar Augustus. I suppose we still have a month and more before Advent. Oh.
Oh, okay. Yes, we protect the weak.
There's nothing for you to worry about. If you obey, I suppose the parish provides you with housing. Or do you have to board out? I live alone in the rooms provided for the vicar of this parish. There is a woman who comes twice a week to clean. Or there was. Her visits have been more erratic of late. She stole several spoons and a chafing dish from me. What is a chafing dish?
Yeah, what's a...
Does it do what it sounds like it does?
I am too curious. I'm gonna search it up right now.
Good idea. Chafing dish. It's not a shaving dish now, is it?
Oh. It looks like something you, serve food in. It's that big silver tray with a lid on it. They see in like buffets.
From the French word chauffeur, which means to make warm. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, it doesn't actually shave.
Shaving dish would have made sense to me too. But, and my
what's
second
is
that chasuble or is it chasuble?
It's a church thingy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that thing. Who knows what she thought to do with it?
Oh dear.
I still don't know how to pronounce it. Let's see. Chasuble. Chasuble. Also from Old French. You know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna say it again. When I did not turn her off for dishonesty, she lost all respect for me. In retrospect, it was an error. I thought to show mercy. Now I sleep on damp sheets. Were you sleeping on your chasuble?
Yes. I'm sorry to hear that.
There's no danger in these questions. Except embarrassment. You seem like someone who would have a wife. Just as efficient as yourself, helping to oversee the parish. Slide a little compliment in there. I was married. The lady was 2 or 3 years older than myself. A very sensible and capable woman. Her name was Anne.
Yeah, what became of her?
Anne Withenwick is no longer with you. Anne died giving birth to our first child. The baby did not survive her by more than a few days.
I was gonna say show and protect, but never mind. Show and protect died.
Well, maybe he got isekai'd early. Or they or her. I'd hoped to be reunited with them in the hereafter, but we see what the hereafter has proven to be. At least in my case.
Hell is just next door.
It seems the Almighty has deemed me unworthy.
That explains the face. How you look so sad. Yes, I love morbid humor. Let's go.
Oh dear. Oh, I see.
2 beats.
1, 2.
Oh god.
So, cannibal mothers, am I right?
Just ignore me.
London afterward, and the invitation of a friend, a fellow who went into orders around the same time. He supposed a change of scenery would suit me, and it did for a number of years. Now, I admit I would give a great deal to be back in the East Riding.
Where's the East Riding?
I do not know.
Oh. Is that
something has landed on the roof? I think so. It sees us. And it's hungry. Bat.
You're not wrong. Yeah, typical.
It's much larger than the bats we had before. Maybe they're better fed down here. Oh, you don't know the least of it. If you'll permit my saying so, I don't find that a comforting observation. There are, I believe, some species of bat that eat fruit.
And some that eat mushrooms.
But if that's what these lived on, they would be as hungry as the rest of us. It's landed there a few times before, especially when the choir is practicing. If you have any marksmanship, might suggest a particular ambition. Not a bad thought, but suppose one succeeded only in angering it. The thing up there is gone. The tinted ground synagogue's in better condition than our little church. I've wondered whether that signifies the direction of divine approval.
Well, my work here is done.
There's something about men of the cloth. This is random, but
the shizzle.
I wonder. Do you think Mr. Vales actually pecked a hole in the church to hear the choir better?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Most people I know prefer a man in uniform. Trust me on this, Father. You have the same look in your eyes that the flower rangers get. Though I must confess your gaze is less alarming. It was good of you to stop in. Lord see you safely home again. Judging by the clock, I can afford another errand today. It is afternoon.
Fear predators and flying creatures.
Yes,
oh,
well.
Boy.
It takes a special kind of person to not fear Mr. Vales.
Let's see. Motive. Anything else?
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing else.
Nothing else. Well, you haven't visited pages exactly in recent times, so not surprising.
That's true. Alright, what else is there? Boarding house. What is this? Alright, I think I've already done all the census thingies that I can, so... Oh, but Grizz is here. Maybe I should do it in the morning then.
Yes. The time when magical romantic things happen. Early morning.
Okay. Yeah, what about my expose? Or maybe I should pay my rent. Okay, well, if she doesn't care, time to put on my mushroom hat.
Did you actually...
Sure.
find Horatio in the basement taking inventory of our supplies. Ah, that mushroom head again.
And your pennies.
I believe I owe you something, as a matter of fact. I pass her the coins in a jingling handful. There's a moment's fellow feeling. Horatio and I are thinking alike. She scoops the money into the pocket of her
The
skirt.
skirt has pockets. I want them.
Yeah. Or is that an apron? Not
It looked
sure.
like an apron. It looked like an apron, but I guess it's a skirt.
I guess so. Maybe she's
Oh,
got both
sure.
on.
Well, that was half, so there must be 5 more.
Yes, exactly. I know that can't cover all of my previous debt. It would be as much again. I will have to do a few more odd jobs first. I'm glad to have this much.
Okay.
I've given up on you paying back your rent. Oh my.
Again? Sure, why not?
Gosh. Will you kiss me, Horatio?
What?
No, I won't. I don't play at these things. Everyone thinks they know what a kiss means, but ask 10 and they'll each give you a different answer. So if you have feelings, then say them first, and if you don't, then leave me be. It saves confusion and trouble afterward.
Sure, why not?
On that topic, I do have feelings. I wasn't sure they'd be welcome if I mentioned them. Yeah, you know that time when you, yeah, plus, you know, and the rent? Yes,
and
very
the
fetching,
tentacles.
I thought. Oh, yes, the way you talk about those, that's very sweet of you to say. I wouldn't have thought, but thank you. All the same, all my thoughts have been on Reverend Witherwick.
Oh, you like
Yes.
the man of the cloth.
There is something about him with the clock I need to consider. You've caught me by surprise. Let's leave the subject for now. Maybe when you've paid me the rest of what you owe.
Mumble, mumble. Ooh.
Grizz brought home some extra supplies today. I was able to do something that almost resembled cooking.
Good job. Ah, man, you both did a good job. Well, Grizz is the positive though, so.
Your suppers are always delicious, whether they contain mushrooms or otherwise, Horatio. You're very welcome.
Oh, Beebos is going. Well, thank you for watching.
Goodbye. Take care. Until next time. Flattery should be persuasive. They're always as delicious as possible in the circumstances.
Very, very persuasive. Very committed.
Exactly, and we have better circumstances today.
They've had enough of your flattery.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, 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 yum. Okay. Back to sleep.
Back to sleep. Another morning, another newspaper. This morning's lies open on a table. Ministry of Accounting and Recounting offers extra rations in exchange for old pound notes. If I am not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends and acquaintances whether there's anything they need from me. Yep, extra
Okay.
conquests. I should learn to take a hit for myself.
Alright, time to go.
Oh boy.
Alright, he did like black, so he's getting back.
Does he like black?
That'll do.
The more often I visit a neighborhood of the bazaar, the more it seems unlike any part of London. But when I try to imagine where it might have come from, my mind halts. If I can guess, I find I don't want to.
Correspondence will do that to you.
Undercon Grizz has been agitated. She requested that we intervene in a matter of the Crown Court. This is not our custom. The justice of London concerns many things that do not interest us.
Yeah, no smutty fanfic. Not interested.
In fact, Undercon Grizz herself instructed that each ministry be circumscribed. We observe an inconsistency in this. It causes us to question her judgment.
I know.
Power hungry. Interesting.
Doesn't strike me as such, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? Grizz is a bro, so I'm gonna be nice.
She may not be thinking clearly this once. It is harder to stick to those rules when a friend's life is involved. Don't you have friends, Mr. Pages? It is a weakness. We will have to account for it in our dealings with her. Do you have anything more?
Okay. I'll do it one by one and see what the dialogue it unlocks.
I've got used to the transaction now. A complication. You take an interest, it seems. Yes, well. Oh. Wow.
No. Only the masters from me.
I fear a union between myself and Horatio would be something of a mésalliance.
Not that I'm very classy myself.
Shame an additional page on this matter would have been valiant.
He wanted more juicy bits.
Do you have anything more? This form merits 2 pennies. Grizz specificated the existence of holy men who were wedded to the church. This one appears to have been wedded to a woman only. You perhaps would offer him a second partnering.
Would you like that, Mr. Pages?
Rejuvenated love and a second disappointment.
He looks very pleased. Oh, it looks very pleased.
Does that mean that... I know the pages... Sorry, I know that not all the masters are aligned in whether they want the bazaar to believe in the possibility of, like, a successful cross-chain star-cross romance. But was Mr. Pages, like, one of the few who actually wanted the bazaar to give up? Maybe so they could go home.
Yeah, some of them want to go home and some of them, I don't know what they want.
They want to actually make the bazaar think it's possible. I don't know.
Oh, Mr. Pages mentioned something about the sky. Wanting to see the sky or something?
Yes.
In, I think one of the ambitions, he mentioned something like that.
Right. I suppose it's possible. Auspiculent.
Oh, another.
Oh my. There is more if hearts are broken.
He wants sad love stories.
Gosh. An accurate and historian recounting, omitting no particularity of despair. If it is happy, it is not yet an ending.
I see.
Do you have anything more?
So maybe it wants the bazaar to not believe.
Maybe you should break Mr. Page's heart. If it has one. The trick is not to look at the back of the penny at all.
It might have multiple.
It might have multiple, yes. There are 7 forms thus far. This should be commemorated. Grizz has indicated the aesthetic propriety of ruinous places. That is, what is broken inspires happiness and love.
Grizz?
There is something I wish to show you. Something broken. Looms. It leads me out of the ministry. The people in the streets part when we approach. No one troubles us. That's good for them. When we come to the edge of the stolen river, it summons a boat with a crook of its claw. Why is it called stolen river?
Everything's stolen. Whoa.
Everything is stolen, that's true. So why bother telling us that it's stolen?
Otherwise it'd just be a river.
Yeah. Does it have effect? Does it enhearten you? Grizz indictified that the moon was also required.
Why does it look so sad?
But the moon was cast out of the belly of the Neath. Only the sun is the same. It is unwise to stay. We will depart. You have seen what I wish to show.
Sunken
Parliament. All that remains of the houses. The building has been in the middle of the river since the fall. Very romantic location, apparently. An exemplar and a sample. Her mother is resilient of heart. She herself also.
Sure.
I liked her.
Why is it past tense?
Your application of companionate time outside of the ministry is your own. We do not forbid revisiting the subjects of the census. That is enough of my official duties for the moment.
Alright, let's go.
I have anticipated for some time. Oh, well, Mr. Pages looms closer. Certain difficulties present themselves. You will stand on the chair. I will elevate you. He reaches out to pick me up. Whoa, boy.
Sure, I can live with many differences.
Differences, yes. Yes, you're lifted up and you are now standing on a chair. Because you couldn't stand on your... Come to think of it, Mr. Pages' chair must be pretty tall, right?
Yeah, maybe you couldn't climb out the chair on your own.
Its kisses are multi-part complicated matters as polysyllabic as his voice. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That end.
Alright, let's go.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Is it really
Mouth
going to
is
eat you?
warm and teeth are sharp. Oh no, it does not hurt me. You must take considerable care not to hurt me, in fact. I guess it's God fangs.
Our future? Broken hearts, for sure.
Broken hearts. You're lucky. Broken bones too, likely. Find ourselves speaking of the fate of London and the changes intentionally made. The cavern of the Neath will naturally change in certain ways, loosening the physilegal restrictions. Other alterations are down to the master's deliberate efforts, according to Mr. Pages. The laws of marriage are rewritten, inhibitions of affection vigorously countermanded. More romance, more heartbreak. Mr. Pages is coy about how this is accomplished, though it makes reference to water and to dreams.
Uh-oh. Dreams of drowning, maybe.
It seems to find a relief in telling me these stories, perhaps secure in the belief that I will not understand them. I say farewell and go. Mr. Pages acknowledges my departure with the slightest inclination of its hood.